fuck that. Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for, motherfucker. I'm gonna fight your fucking ass.
Sorry, Daddy.
What do you mean sorry, Daddy? What the hell did you do? Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
Captain Picard.
Okay, Captain Picard is not gay, he's British.
Come on, make it slow.
Well, I hate to break it to you losers, but Han Solo's a bitch.
Oh.
Tallahassee, you want to stick together, at least for a while?
Here's the deal, Columbus. I'm not easy to get along with, and I'm sensing you're a bit of a bitch. So, I give this relationship to about Texarkana.
Disturbance reported at the top of the Crown restaurant. Suspect is a male costumed extremist, armed with what appears to be a ketchup gun.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
You're listening to Comic Can Coozie, your weekly podcast for all your geeky garbage, kitschy comedy, and nerdy news. I'm Cole.
I'm Tayler.
You're spilling beer all over the place.
I was trying to read the can.
Okay. All right. So how was your Father's Day?
Well, it's...
You did absolutely nothing, right?
I fucking worked, and then I...
Came straight home,
and I did call my father. I said, I don't know if I'm coming over tonight, but happy Father's Day. He said, we're cutting down a tree. I'm like, have fun, guys.
Sounds amazing.
He said, if you want to come over, you can. I'm like, yeah, it's all right. I don't know.
I'd love to. I'd love to come over and watch a tree fall over.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of sucks.
It's not like it's a little kid. I mean, if they're like, I'm pushing over a little kid, I'd be like, well, I'll be right there.
If it was a big tree, like if they're cutting down like a fucking, gargantuan type of thing, and it took like the whole neighborhood, or it took an act of God, or they had to hire somebody. They're cutting all kinds of limbs off. I'd have been there because that would have been cool to watch. I like watching big machinery, Cole.
Not when I went.
You know what? I'm a fucking child.
Yeah.
They're tearing down that fucking shitty ass hotel that was in Bismarck here.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
I don't know what it was called, but my pop was the one helping tear it down.
Yeah. Like, seriously, I saw that they were doing it. I parked and watched for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, he was.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
My bro. Did I ever tell you about that? So, in the hotel. So that hotel had been abandoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, and.
I was at the family supper, don't you remember?
Yeah, my brother had to go in there and like start cleaning out the rooms, but there was a bunch of transients living in there.
Yeah.
And he was like throwing away bottles of piss and finding like syringes on the ground.
Dude, I love cracking your mom up so much.
Yeah.
So when I'm like, Gabe, how did you know it was pee? And your mom was laughing so hard.
We were asking him if he took any souvenirs out of there.
Yeah. Hey, it's making your mom chuckle at your brother's expense. Fucking love it.
I told
that's great.
I told the joke to my brother tonight.
Gabe. Okay.
It was just me, Gabe, and my parents, and I told a joke that I seen on YouTube. I told him a joke, and I thought, like, I'm going to tell this in front of my parents, and I'm sure I'll get a chuckle out of my pop, and my mom's going to get like all pissy.
Cole.
But I said, Gabriel, how does a terrorist feed a baby? And he goes, how? And I picked up my fork and I started going towards his mouth. I go, here comes the airplane.
Did your mom laugh?
She started laughing, and then I go, here comes the second one. And then she started cracking.
Wow!
My pop was looking pissy. I thought he was the one who was going to laugh about it.
I think we've crossed a certain threshold.
What did my brother say? He added his own little tag onto that joke.
Yeah.
And God, it was funny, but shit, I don't remember now.
Yeah. Anyway, I love watching heavy machinery work. It's just fun to watch, and it's fascinating to watch the destruction happen. And so when they were tearing down, it was cool how they kind of built up the stuff to tear down stuff that was higher up. Mm-hmm. They kind of built up the rubble, so they could drive on it and then tear more stuff down. It was fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Love that kind of stuff. How do we get on this tangent?
You were talking about How you would have watched if they were cutting like down a
Oh
bigger
yeah,
tree
back to
and
my
stuff.
parents. Okay, so it's not a big tree, but it is kind of a sad tree because my mom.
Because it's a weeping willow.
It is actually.
For real?
Double entendre. It's kind of sad because they ended up. My mom went to one of her childhood homes before they had torn down this trailer that they lived in when she was a kid, and it was the last house that I really remember my grandparents being in before their home in Rugby, and this was in Churches Ferry, North Dakota, and she had snagged a what do you call it, a branch from the willow that was there,
All right.
and propagated it.
Okay, so for those who might not know tree shit, and I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming that means she took a branch and then she grew a whole new tree out of that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
out of the branch.
It's, I don't know, it's so cool. Fucking awesome to me. So, fucking, and it wasn't super, super tall by any means.
All right.
But I mean, it had grown, when they had planted it it's probably close to 10 years ago.
All right.
I mean, how much bigger it was. I mean, seriously, it was a twig, and now it's a fucking tree. And
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Now it's fucking kindling.
Now it is. I guess my dad said there's bugs in it or something.
All right.
I don't know, bugs ate that kind of a tree. I know, like some elm disease or some shit.
I'm sure bugs will eat any kind of tree that they can digest.
Yeah, I suppose. But you know who doesn't eat trees? Blue beetle.
Blue beetle.
Yeah, he's cool.
He smokes trees.
Does he?
I don't know. Actually, you were talking about like, oh man, if it was a big tree, that'd be like the last day I was in California, not with you, but with my family when we went and we were just spent the whole time on beaches or in the middle of the redwoods. So they had this redwood park in the middle of a town, and in the mornings I would go and like hike through that. Sometimes my parents would join me and stuff, but my brother and his wife never joined us until the very last day. And the last day was like a Monday or something. And
they had a real case of the Monday.
We're walking around, and I heard someone with a chainsaw, and we looked across the street, just across from out of the park, and there was a guy like way up in the air, strapped to a redwood, and he was chainsawing through the top of it.
Yeah.
He cut off like a third of the tree. And then he had to like kind of shimmy down, and he started like cutting more.
Did you ever find out why, or
I'm sure it was just
maintenance or
fucking with someone's property or something.
Oh, okay.
Because the park, I mean, there was houses right across the street. So.
Yeah. That happened when we were in it wasn't a state park, but when we were staying in Quaalude
Quaalude.
No, Quaalude. Way cooler than Quaaludes. Up in
kind of Cosby Adventures were you on?
Past Pacific Northwest there in Washington.
All right.
Seriously, still probably one of my favorite trips. Just because I fucking want to live there, man. I want to fucking find Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fucking. Oh, dude! I saw this awesome T-shirt. I think I'm gonna buy it.
All right.
And it says, "I want to believe in something." It's a picture of like this hippie kind of looking Sasquatch.
Uh huh.
I'm like, that's awesome.
All right.
I want to believe in something, Cole.
Okay.
May as well be Sasquatch, right?
You should probably show me the shirt because it doesn't sound that cool.
It was cool.
It was cool.
It was.
It was cool.
America's Mansions.
I can't get my voice that high.
You know why that is?
Why? Because I went through puberty twice.
Yep. Cool. Good for you.
How far along on The Boys did you ever get? Like just the second episode or what?
I think so. It wasn't very far.
The new season started up this past week.
You started watching?
They dropped 3 episodes in one day.
Yeah.
And I started watching them. I'm like, man, I like this show.
It's a
so
good
fucking
show.
crazy. Yeah, how would you know?
Well, from what I've seen, and I don't know, people are like, if you think Homelander's the good guy, you're part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, and the show doesn't try to make him look like that. I mean, I don't know how people get confused.
I don't think so either. I think they just see. I think there's been memes that have been put out there because he is kind of this all-American looking guy.
Yeah.
And people miss the point on it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. People miss the point on a lot of stuff, but.
Well, Hulk Hogan, too. He's supposed to be a real American, but he's just a douchebag.
That does steroids. So I was watching this thing, speaking of wrestlers, speaking of tragedy, and they were going through the top moments that wrestling got real, you know, and it was all WWE shit, and you know, like they were showing
Owen Hart falling from the rafters.
Well, they show that, but they were talking about that, like Owen Hart, who is the other guy,
Draws, the guy who got paralyzed from the neck down.
I don't think that happened on live television.
Oh, really?
I think it was a house show. But anyway, Jerry the King Lawler had a heart attack live on air.
Yeah.
So they were talking about this kind of stuff, and what that just struck me and how absurd it was. They weren't really ranking them, but they kind of were.
All right, just tell me what happened.
I'm just trying to figure out how the Chris Benoit thing.
All right.
Was less shocking than the Montreal Screwjob. Like, again, they weren't
because everyone saw it coming.
I guess, but I'm just like, God dang! I know this isn't ranked.
I think we've talked about this before,
dude.
but we've never explained it to someone who isn't a wrestling fan.
Yeah,
Chris Benoit murdered his whole family and then killed himself.
And so when it had first happened, you know, there was Monday Night Raw goes on, and they came out with all these like tribute type of shit, you know,
because they didn't know
what really
how
happened,
he had passed, or like they didn't know the details.
Right.
Like the stuff happened on like a Saturday or Sunday, and then they had television the next day.
Right. It's not funny. The order in which I watched this video, because they had some real serious stuff, you know, like they had Owen Hart, they had this, and then they had Chris Benoit's thing, and I'm like, how are they going to top this? And then
they're like
Montreal Screwjob. It's like that had to be Vince behind this video, because when he got spat upon by Bret Hart, that was almost the end of the world for him.
Maybe I don't know. Started something new.
That's true.
Yeah,
paid a lot of bills for Mr. McMahon, but I don't know. I just thought that it was really disjointed and just weird to watch.
We stopped recording last week, and like 10 minutes later, I was like, God damn it! It's kind of funny that almost every time you or me go to like a larger city,
yeah,
like one of the things we always talk about is like the rail systems and the public transportation.
We just don't have it here in Bismarck.
We don't have it at all, but we talk about it like
it's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. Like oh man, was it that's so awesome? Or man, that one was really fucking bad. Like
yeah. I feel like I don't know.
It's just so foreign to us.
It is. It really is. And I'm sure a lot of people. I'm sure people that live in those areas. That's like their vehicle. You know, it's just second nature. You know, like that'd be like you talking about your commute to work that day. You know, like who fucking cares, right? But because it is so weird and new to us, or not new, but I don't know.
It's just so foreign to us.
I guess we have the cat.
Yeah, but no one uses that.
I see a lot of, I don't know about a lot, but I once tried to map out, you know, how long it would take me to get to work. It's when I was living in Mandan, right? And
a lot of people from the transitional center use it. And that's like you get out of prison, then you got to live in the transitional center for a little while.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're behaving and you have a job.
Yeah. So when I looked at the transit from Mandan at the time, I was still working at the place I work now. 3.5 hours
to get from Mandan to
just because of
North Bismarck,
right? Just because of all of the stops and all of the fucking trade off or not transfers. You know, I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'd have to leave 3 hours before work to get there,
and you'd get home 3 hours after work.
Probably. I'm like, that is not efficient at all.
It might not even be running by the time you're off work.
Yeah. Just fucking strand me at work. Whatever. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck the transit in Bismarck. Actually, transit's cool because you can call them. They'll be like,
I mean,
but you have to talk funny. When
it's cool for the people who need it, but you know,
I have not found a good enough use for it yet. You know,
I don't think there's any stops anywhere nearby here. Maybe Northbrook Mall.
I think if you wave it down, it will pick you up.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. You try it next time. Just hey.
I don't want to.
Washington probably would take you where you got to go, but I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment next time I have to work. See how long it takes me.
So
I'm gonna end up in the wrong part of town, Cole.
I was talking about us going to like larger cities and stuff, or like just going anywhere else, right? Just like for trips or whatever.
Yeah.
I met this couple yesterday from Pennsylvania.
Oh, what part?
I didn't get that much into it, but
are they Philadelphian?
I don't know.
Motherfuckers. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, so I'm talking to them, and they're like, "Yep, it's our 50th anniversary this week." I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "And this is the 50th state we visited." Oh, North Dakota, right?
Damn.
And I'm like, "Oh, damn! Did you stop in Fargo and get your T-shirt and everything?" Because like our state knows what we are. We're like the last check on your box, you know, like we're the last state you're gonna go unless you have relatives here. You don't come here for fun. So in Fargo at some tourist, like, you know, the Fargo City tourism, whatever, you can go there and they'll give you a fucking T-shirt that'll say like, "I saved the best for last," and like,
nice.
You can just like, yeah,
that's
our big claim to fame, that it's well known enough that people who go to all 50 states save this one for last because they don't know what the fuck they're going to do here. And then they were telling me they were going to go to Medora, and I didn't want to ruin their shit, so I wasn't going to be like, "Oh, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't go to Medora. It fucking sucks." But so I didn't tell them. But they were like, "Yeah, we ate at this restaurant last night, and it was bad." And I'm like,
"Ooh,
what was it called?" And they're like, "I don't want to say because I don't want to say." And I was like, "Yeah, but now I want to know." And they're like, "I don't know, something like the Peabody." I was like, "Peacock Alley?" They're like, "Yes." I was like, "That place is shit." And then we all started laughing.
You said that?
Yes. Dead ass.
Oh man, that sucks. For Peacock Alley, I guess.
And them. They had to eat there. That's even worse. They had to get served by some moody little fuck.
God dang. I'm just trying to think of the last state that I would visit by choice. You know, because I live here, obviously.
I don't know.
So what would the last one for me be? I don't know. I always like to fill out the map to see like where I've been and shit. You know, I don't count airports. So if I've had to,
I don't count places that I just drove through. So like I've driven to Texas, but I wouldn't count Kansas, Oklahoma. I wouldn't count Kansas, Oklahoma, or Nebraska because I mean basically it's just like, oh, stop for breakfast or stop for gas, and that's about it. Yeah. That's the same as fucking being in an airport and fucking eating.
I suppose.
You're not really experiencing the state.
I mean, you're looking at it for a long period of time.
Yeah, but it's not the same as like stopping and doing something.
Well, I mean, you could say the same, like, oh, you went to California and you only went to San Francisco and San Jose. That doesn't count.
Well, no, I've gone to California 3 different times.
Well, I'm just saying, like, for me. Well, anyway,
I think it would count.
What I'm trying to say is,
because you spent 4 days there doing as much as filling up as much as you could in those 4 days. We planned 4 days. We got a 5th.
Yes, we did. I'm trying to think the last state. In my opinion, I think the last state that I would go to, being that I am from North Dakota, would be probably West Virginia.
Why?
I think I would find every other state more interesting before West Virginia is what I'm saying.
Why would you find other states more interesting than West Virginia? I'm sure they got shit to do there.
I'm sure they do too. I'm just saying.
They got all kinds of shit to do there. They're right on the ocean. You could go to the other ocean.
West Virginia is landlocked, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
But they got like fucking mountains and trees and shit there.
They got fucking hillbilly rapists too.
We got that shit here.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know. I'm not saying that that's the last place I'm going. What I'm saying is, if I was filling out the
I'd
list,
rather go to West Virginia than fucking Utah.
I've already been to Utah.
Yeah, but let's say you hadn't been there and you wiped out the map. You start from
Okay,
blanks.
what I'm saying from the states that I have been to,
Okay.
personally, West Virginia, not that it sucks or that's bad. I'm just saying that would probably be the last stop on my list. Personally.
You know what? That's we're one of the few states that people actually listen to us from.
Is it? I mean, I'm not trying to talk shit on West Virginia. I'm just saying, I don't know what's there.
What about Maine? Like, what do you do in Maine? Well, that's right on the ocean, too.
Yeah, I think Maine would be way cooler.
Is that a place that looks cool? Like, do they got trees and shit up there?
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time.
What about fucking, like, Delaware?
I guess. I think if you, but see, but here's the deal.
Isn't Delaware like the place where all the businesses go just to register their business there for tax breaks and shit?
So here's the deal, right?
Yeah.
We'll pull up Google Maps here real quick. So, just looking at the map, you fly into, let's say, Maine, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you flew into Portland, Maine, because that's probably...
Oh, yeah, that's the Portland everyone wants to go to.
Well, that's the biggest city here. What I'm saying is, like, you could hit in one day New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode... I mean, you in a span of a day, you could hit all of these states, is what I'm saying.
So you're saying these people cheated?
Well, maybe. They might... I swear...
They already have an advantage just being from, like... What did I say, Pennsylvania? Because they're already near, like, a whole bunch of states, right?
I take that back. These three, I think I would visit West Virginia before Arkansas, Mississippi. No, before Arkansas and Alabama.
Why not Why did you say Mississippi and then take it back? Why is Mississippi better than Alabama or Arkansas?
I think Mississippi, you could do something down on the Gulf if you wanted to. You're pretty close to the.
You could if you were in Mobile, Alabama, you could do shit in the Gulf.
That's true, I suppose. I feel like I feel that Mississippi has more.
Mississippi
history.
would be awesome. You go to Biloxi, right, and then you could go to New Orleans. No, you go to New Orleans, so you hit Louisiana. Then you go to Mobile, Alabama, and then you're in Florida. You could hit 4 states just by flying into Biloxi.
But then you're dealing with the fucking panhandle of Florida. I don't know. I just feel like West Virginia's landlocked as fuck, dude.
I think every state's probably got something cool there.
It would. But I'm just saying, if you're going to visit every state, road tripping it, West Virginia for me, maybe Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. Those would be on the very bottom of my list. Not saying I don't want to visit them or that I never would. I'm just saying that's just where they land on the list.
You know how I said every...
Oh, what about New Mexico,
You know how I said every state has something to offer?
Except for?
I mean, it has something to offer, but Iowa still sucks.
Iowa does?
Yeah.
Iowa's pretty shit.
I've been there multiple times, and it kind of fucking sucks.
Iowa's not great, which is surprising. When I found out what the population of Des Moines was, kind of blew my ass away.
Okay, how many?
I think it's in the millions.
In the millions?
Population.
Okay, it's
737. So
737,000.
Oh, but that's the metro. Okay,
let's just go with the metro. 737,000. So like 600,000 of them are on meth, right?
At least. Although I thought that was South Dakota's thing. I will say this. I still am going to say that this is probably one of the best unassuming metros that will ever have gone to is Omaha. Omaha has kind of a Fargo feel with...
That sucks, dude. You're not fucking selling it.
I'm just saying. It's got the feel of Fargo, but it's bigger.
That you're not selling it, dude. It has the feel of Fargo. That sucks.
I like Fargo.
Oh, I like Fargo. You always whine whenever I say something you like. You're like, I like it.
Well, Fargo's cool. I don't know why you don't like Fargo.
I don't know. I've never really found. Anytime I have to spend a weekend, like say I'm dating a girl,
Yeah.
she's like, we should spend some time together. We should spend a weekend together. And you're like, okay, what do you want to do? Let's go to Fargo. And I'm like, fuck, I can't find anything to do to fill up 2 days, a weekend in Fargo.
Oh, you're not looking in the right places.
You know what I like about Jamestown?
What do you like about Jamestown?
Their driving range is right next to the train tracks.
Oh.
So when the train goes by, everyone just kind of turns a little bit and starts hitting their balls at the train.
That's kind of cool.
It's so fucking redneck, but god damn it, is it fun.
More places should have their driving range next to a fucking train track. But I don't know. Looking at the map here, Cole, Edmonton last night played the fucking
who is it again?
Panthers.
The Panthers. They won 8-1, right?
They kicked their ass, dude.
Yeah, they're losing. They're getting the
fuck?
shit kicked out of them in the series, but they beat the living dog shit out of them last night. So.
It wasn't even fun to watch after a certain point. Not my teams, but it's like, Jesus Christ. They're dead already, man. There should be I think sports need to implement the mercy rule.
Sometimes, I believe you're right.
Like in hockey, when are you coming back from a deficit and like at the end, like 10 minutes left in the game, you're coming back from a deficit of 7? That's not going to happen. I mean, I guess it could, but I don't know. Just like you got to protect the players. So
fuck them. It's the end of the season.
Fuck them.
It's the end of the season.
I guess. So, Cole, you know I'm kind of a dumbass sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like just to talk to people.
Okay.
So we went to the aquarium while we were at the Mall of America.
Okay.
I fucking love aquariums.
I went there one time with my ex-girlfriend and at the time her fucking 6-year-old son. And you know how you can walk through that tube, like that round tube, and the sharks can swim right over you?
Yeah.
There must have been a female shark swimming right over there. And I pointed out, Malati, look. And I was pointing at a shark vagina. And she's like, knock it off. Brandon's here.
So the last time that I had gone, they reversed it.
Okay, what do you mean?
Like when you first went through,
Like now the sharks are in the tubes and you walk through the aquarium? Or
you swim through the aquarium this time.
No. Sharks are just dead in the tubes?
Yeah, just laying there. No, so we had gone, oh man, the last time I was there was probably like 2008, 2009. It's been a long
It's been really long for me.
Yeah, so before I remember you walked through and you started with like the tide pools. You could go touch a bunch of shit.
Okay, yeah.
And then you could go fucking look at the stingrays.
Like sea anemones.
Yeah. And then the final tube was the freshwater fish.
Okay.
And then you go through that little rainforest thing and then you're out.
All right.
Well, they turned it around where you walk through the rainforest first and then you start with the freshwater fish.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, just change it around. Anyway.
I wonder why that is.
Racism.
Oh, okay, sure.
We're trying to reverse it.
All right.
Didn't work. Still racist out there, Cole.
All right.
Anyway, we get to the end. And we get to the stingray exhibit. And I walked up to one of the employees. And I'm like, hey. And she's like, what's up? I said, you know those fuckers killed Steve Irwin, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, actually, Steve Irwin killed himself by pulling the barb out of his heart. I'm like, damn, this generation's ruthless, dude.
That's a good answer. How many times do you think she's heard that Steve Irwin thing before, though, where she had an answer like that quick? Unless she's just really fucking clever.
She could have been clever.
You know?
But, I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever come up and said these fuckers killed Steve Irwin, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I said to her.
I'm guessing someone said something about them killing the crocodile hunter or something.
Yeah.
You know?
But I hate those bastards for that.
I don't.
Well, Steve is kind of a crazy guy.
He seemed like an awesome dude and shit, but I mean...
You know, he went out...
But did anyone... was anyone surprised? I think they were surprised that it was a stingray and not like a crocodile. You know, but like that something wild killed him.
Yeah.
And he was fucking with snakes all the time. Like, I think they were surprised that, maybe.
I think they were surprised that it was because people get nailed by those things all the time. If you got bit by a snake, that's one thing. If you got ripped up by a crocodile, that's another thing. But to take a fucking stingray shot to the heart, I mean, that's such a 1 in a million shot.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
You give
you did
wildlife,
bad. You're a stingray.
You give wildlife a bad name. Yeah, they do. Fuck those stingrays. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I was just trying to think of like, what do I love doing?
Getting shot in the heart through by a
No,
stingray.
like Steve was killed doing what he loved. I want to be killed doing what I love.
Sitting on a plunger.
Or just taking a shit. I love taking just a big shit, man.
You want to go out like Elvis?
I don't think he was having a good time. When I don't know. So, Cole, you have something on your phone?
I'm just fucking scrolling and talking. I was seeing if there was anything interesting.
You know what's stupid about Bismarck, Cole?
What's that?
We were looking for some election results for our local park board folks.
Uh-huh.
How long did it take us? And I'm not saying we're stupid.
It took us like 10 minutes.
Took way longer than it should have. I mean,
No.
if I go to the park board website,
it should say who won the election.
I would say so. What the fuck?
I think they just felt bad for the chick who was an incumbent who lost, and they didn't want to take her photo off until she's out of office.
Fine. But I mean, at least I don't know. Even the city of Bismarck didn't post anything about election.
No,
results.
they didn't. It's kind of ridiculous.
Which is funny because those are the fucking elections that really fucking matter. You know,
small ones.
Well, I mean, those are the ones that are going to most directly affect what your day-to-day life.
They're going to affect us the most. Yeah.
I don't know. That's just silly. But congratulations to all those who won. And to those who lost, maybe go swim with the stingrays.
Do better.
Do better next time. Yeah.
So
they did their best.
I bought this poster. I bought 2 posters. One for the same poster.
What a great segue, Cole.
I bought 2 posters. One for here and one for the office at work.
Yeah.
And it's a shared office between me and the other managers and the owner and his supervisor, who is the owner's girlfriend. And so I bought this poster. You know the posters where it's the cat hanging.
Yeah, cute little kid.
And it says like hang in there, right?
Hang in there.
It's a parody of that where it's a cat and the branch is broken and it's falling. It's kind of like a cartoon and it's got this like fucked up look on its face like, oh shit. And then it says just give up, which those election people should do. It is a good segue.
They should.
But anyway, so the other managers seen it and they thought it was really funny. And then the owner's girlfriend saw it and she thought it was really funny. Then I showed it to the owner. He's like, I never give up. I'm like,
okay.
Dude, it's not an attack on you. It's a funny poster. Like, you have all these motivational posters in here that like we put words over where like instead of like at the end of the day, just take a breath and say I did it. It says at the end of the day, like the end of a hard day, just take a deep breath, and then someone taped over and say, "Why them bitches be tripping?" You know, like. So like we're already fucking with the dumb posters we have up there. So I just got one.
Yeah.
Right. And everyone thought it was funny except for him. And then he wouldn't hang it up. And then I just happened to see a fucking nail that was like not being used. So I hung it up.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
That's awesome.
So we got a just give up poster.
I like it.
To
I like
motivate
it
everybody.
I feel demotivated by it. I think that poster should be more places.
It should be in a lot more places.
They should pay, or somebody should pay.
Be in the Minnesota Vikings locker room.
Yeah. It was funny. I was talking to somebody at work about how this guy is going to come in because the Sharks got #1 draft pick this year.
Uh-huh.
Sharks have a new coach.
Uh-huh.
I said, this is the year they turn it around. I'm joking.
It's
of
a
course.
Rebuilding season.
It is a rebuilding season. So obviously that was a joke.
Yeah.
And then Tim said, one of my managers was like, "Oh, that's what I thought about the Astros." And then this other guy chimes in. He's like, "Oh, well, you know, that's what I say about the Vikings every year," or something like that. I'm like, "Hey, I said, we had our time in the sun with a beautiful quarterback named Kirk Cousins. He listened to Creed before every game, and look where that got us. Nowhere! You know what? Creed is not a band.
No, we already talked about this last week.
Creed?
Yeah, we talked about Creed.
Not Apollo Creed.
No, not Apollo Creed. That guy never gave up.
No. This is new commentary.
He had to just hang in their kitty poster.
I feel like Creed is the just give up poster of rock bands.
You were just talking about how much you like them last week.
I still like them, but I'm just saying I like that poster too. But I'm just saying, like, that is the I give up poster of rock bands.
Okay.
If you're listening to Creed, you are not in a good place in life.
You were listening to Creed the other
I'm
night.
not in a good place in my life, Cole. I'm just saying.
That is true.
So, if you're listening to Creed, things aren't going the greatest for you. That's all I'm saying. And they probably never will.
With arms wide open.
Just give up. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
I shouldn't have done that because I probably got it stuck in someone's head and now they're pissed
With
at us.
arms wide open. Yeah. I think our rendition was better. So, for Comic Can Coozie, I'm Tayler.
I'm Cole.